In this video, we dive into conquering self-doubt and stepping into the life you've always dreamed of. We start by understanding that self-doubt isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a heavy weight that influences your choices, telling you that you're not enough or that failure is inevitable. However, we reveal that self-doubt is a universal experience, even among the most successful. The key is to reframe it as a signal, not an enemy. It's an invitation to face discomfort, challenge your limits, and ultimately grow stronger. By recognizing self-doubt as an opportunity for growth, we learn to take action despite it, not allowing it to dictate our path. Each step forward, no matter how small, becomes a powerful vote of confidence in yourself. This video encourages you to embrace uncertainty, trust your inner compass, and reframe failures as lessons rather than setbacks. The journey to personal growth and true fulfillment begins by understanding that you're capable, and with each action you take, you'll move closer to your goals. Recognize the patterns, the key to self-mastery. Imagine your mind as a vast labyrinth. Every thought, every emotion, every choice you make leaves behind a thread, a trail weaving through this intricate maze. Over time, these threads form patterns, invisible to us in the moment but undeniable when we step back and look at the whole. Recognizing these patterns is the art of becoming the architect of your own life. The hidden cycles of behavior. Think about the challenges you face. Do they feel eerily familiar? That's no coincidence. Patterns are the echoes of your past decisions and reactions. They show up in your relationships, your habits, and your fears. A recurring conflict with a loved one, the impulse to procrastinate, or the doubts that resurface every time you aim higher, these aren't isolated events. They're parts of a cycle, waiting for you to break it. But here's the twist: patterns are not just enemies. They're also clues. Each one offers a map to understanding yourself better. They highlight where you're stuck and where you have the power to grow. The Stoic lens on patterns. The Stoics taught us to pause and reflect. Marcus Aurelius urged, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In other words, our suffering often stems from internal patterns, repeated judgments, habits, and beliefs that we fail to question. By recognizing these patterns, you reclaim your power. You see not only the thread but also the weaver, yourself. How to recognize and transform patterns. Reflect and journal. Spend time each day noting what triggered you, how you reacted, and what resulted. Over time, you'll see the loops, moments where you repeated an old script instead of writing a new one. Ask the right questions. When faced with frustration, ask, "What's familiar about this feeling?" Or, "How have I responded to this before?" Epictetus might ask, "Is this in my control?" Recognizing how you've ceded control in the past can help you reclaim it now. Test new responses. Patterns don't break, they transform. Replace an old habit with a new, healthier one. If criticism typically makes you defensive, pause instead and ask for clarification. You'll be amazed at how the cycle shifts. Seek feedback. Sometimes, patterns hide in blind spots. Ask someone you trust, "What do you notice about how I approach challenges or conflicts?" Their perspective can illuminate what you've overlooked. The intrigue of pattern recognition. Here's the magic. As you uncover patterns, life begins to feel less random and more purposeful. You see that you're not a victim of circumstance but a participant in a grander design. Every loop you break is like solving a mystery, one that brings you closer to freedom, resilience, and self-mastery. Recognizing patterns doesn't mean erasing your past, it means learning from it. It means evolving. The maze doesn't trap you anymore because now, you hold the map. The question is, are you ready to start unraveling the threads? Challenge the narrative, rewrite the story that defines you. Imagine for a moment that your life is a book, and every decision you've ever made, every belief you've held, is written into its pages. But here's the catch: the story isn't entirely yours. Pieces of it have been written by others, society, family, your past experiences, even your fears. What if you discovered that many of the chapters limiting you weren't truths, but assumptions? What if you could challenge the narrative and write something entirely new? The invisible power of stories. We all live by stories, subtle scripts that shape how we see ourselves and the world. I'm not good enough. I always fail at this. People like me don't succeed. These aren't facts. They're interpretations, narratives we've absorbed or told ourselves so often they've solidified into truths. But narratives are tricky. They feel real because they explain the chaos of life. They give us a sense of control, even if that control is built on self-doubt or resignation. The Stoics, masters of dissecting the human mind, knew this well. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, the event is neutral. The story you attach to it is everything. Why challenge the narrative? Because unchecked, these stories become prisons. They confine your potential and limit your choices. They turn possibilities into impossibilities. By challenging the narrative, you don't just break the chains, you discover the pen in your own hand. How to challenge and rewrite your story. Identify the narrative. Listen closely to your self-talk. When you feel stuck or afraid, ask, "What story am I telling myself right now?" Write it down, as though it's a script. Seeing it laid bare is the first step toward questioning it. Interrogate the script. Ask, "Is this story objectively true, or is it just my interpretation?" Consider alternative explanations. For example, if you're telling yourself, "I'm not good at relationships," question where that belief came from. Is it based on one failure, or is it a sweeping assumption? Reframe the narrative. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of, "I failed, so I'm a failure," try, "I failed because I tried something difficult. What did I learn, and how can I try again?" Language shapes reality. Use it wisely. Act against the story. Take small, deliberate actions that defy the old narrative. If your story says you're too shy to network, attend one event. Each action is a vote for a new reality, a new identity. The beauty of owning your story. When you challenge the narrative, you reclaim your power. You see that you are not defined by your past, your fears, or even your current circumstances. You're the protagonist of your story, not a side character bound by someone else's plot. And here's the twist. The act of rewriting your story doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your reality. You begin to act in alignment with the person you want to become. Slowly, the world reshapes around you to fit the new story you're telling. The question that matters. So, what's the narrative holding you back? What belief, what assumption, what lie are you ready to challenge? Because here's the truth. The story isn't set in stone. The pen is in your hand. The next chapter is yours to write. Will it be one of limitation or liberation? Reframe failures, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a forest, lost and unsure of the path ahead. Every wrong turn feels like proof that you're not meant to find your way out. But what if those wrong turns weren't mistakes? What if they were markers? Each one teaching you something vital, sharpening your instincts, and pushing you closer to the clearing. That's the power of reframing failure, shifting your perspective to see missteps not as the end of the road, but as part of the map to your destination. The myth of failure. From an early age, most of us are taught to fear failure, to treat it as a dead end, a sign that we lack what it takes. But here's a truth the Stoics understood well: failure is never final. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations on Resilience, observed, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle, every defeat, isn't an impassable wall but a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared. Failure isn't a judgment on your worth. It's feedback from the universe, a signal that says, "This didn't work, what can you learn, and what will you do differently next time?" Why reframing failure matters. If you see failure as the enemy, it paralyzes you. It makes you afraid to try, to risk, to dream. But when you reframe failure, it becomes your ally, a necessary and even welcome part of growth. Every great success story is littered with setbacks. Every innovator, creator, and trailblazer you admire has fallen, sometimes spectacularly. The difference? They got back up, reframing their failures as stepping stones instead of roadblocks. The art of reframing failure. Shift from judgment to curiosity. Oh, instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" ask, "What did this teach me?" Adopt the mindset of a scientist experimenting with new ideas. Each failure is just data helping you refine your approach. Detach failure from identity. Oh, failing at something doesn't mean you are a failure. Reframe the narrative. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "This attempt didn't work, but I can adjust." Separate the event from your sense of self. Spot the silver lining. Oh, every setback has hidden value. Maybe you gained a new skill, discovered a weakness you can now strengthen, or avoided a path that wasn't truly right for you. Write down one positive takeaway from each failure. You'll be surprised at the patterns of growth that emerge. Use failure as fuel. Oh, let failure ignite your determination. Remind yourself that every stumble is proof you're in the arena, doing the work. As Theodore Roosevelt said, "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood." The beauty of failing forward. Reframing failure doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending setbacks aren't frustrating. It means recognizing that the pain has a purpose. Failure breaks you open in ways success never could, revealing the strength, resilience, and creativity hidden within. Picture a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Every strike of the chisel seems destructive, until you realize that each strike is shaping something extraordinary. That's what failure does for you. It chisels away your doubts, sharpens your skills, and refines your vision. The challenge ahead. So, the next time you face failure, and you will, because that's life, pause and ask yourself, "What is this teaching me? How is this helping me grow?" Don't let failure define your story. Let it propel you forward, a proof not of defeat, but of daring. After all, the most remarkable people aren't those who avoid failure. They're the ones who master it, transforming every stumble into a stride toward greatness. The question isn't whether you'll fail, it's whether you'll rise. Will you embrace the fall as part of your flight? Celebrate progress, the quiet power of small wins. Life often feels like a relentless climb, with the summit of our goals hidden in the clouds. It's easy to fixate on the peak, measuring success only by grand milestones. But what if the real magic lay in the ascent itself, the small steps forward, the moments where progress flickers like a guiding lantern? Celebrating progress, no matter how incremental, isn't just about acknowledging your hard work, it's about fueling your journey. These victories are like cairns left on a trail, markers reminding you how far you've come, even when the peak still feels distant. When you pause to celebrate progress, you're rewiring your brain to see effort as rewarding and growth as achievable. It's not indulgence, it's strategy. Each acknowledgement of a step taken, no matter how small, reinforces resilience and motivation. The joy of progress creates a momentum that propels you forward, transforming discipline into desire and struggle into purpose. So, don't wait for the final chapter to rejoice. Savor the story unfolding now. The summit is a moment, but the climb? That's where you truly find yourself. Surround yourself with positivity, building your fortress of growth. Imagine you're a gardener cultivating a flourishing oasis. Your dreams and ambitions are the seeds, but the soil they're planted in, the environment you nurture them within, determines whether they bloom or wither. Surrounding yourself with positivity is about creating that rich, nourishing soil. It's the friendships that lift your spirits, the mentors who challenge your potential, and the spaces that inspire creativity and growth. Negativity is like weeds in this garden, choking the roots of progress. By choosing the right environment, you ensure your aspirations have room to thrive. The people and influences you allow into your life act like mirrors reflecting your potential, or your doubts. Positive surroundings don't mean living in denial of challenges but choosing voices that say, "You've got this," even when you falter. Seek out those who celebrate your victories, no matter how small, and remind you of your strength during setbacks. Positivity isn't just about relentless cheerfulness, it's about encouragement rooted in authenticity. It's the steady presence of individuals and ideas that push you to be the best version of yourself. But positivity goes beyond people. It's the books you read, the media you consume, and even the physical spaces you inhabit. Surround yourself with environments that spark creativity and calm your mind. Listen to stories that inspire you, not drain you. Create rituals that ground you in gratitude and purpose. When positivity becomes your ecosystem, it doesn't just shield you from negativity, it transforms you into a beacon of growth, drawing others into your circle of light. This isn't just about thriving, it's about building a life where flourishing becomes inevitable. Take action despite doubt, the power of moving forward. Doubt is the shadow that whispers, "What if you fail?" It feeds on hesitation, growing stronger each time you pause to entertain it. But here's the secret: doubt only has power when you let it stop you. Taking action despite doubt is like walking through fog. You may not see the entire path ahead, but every step you take makes the next one clearer. The act of moving forward transforms uncertainty into opportunity and fear into progress. Each action, no matter how small, chips away at doubt's hold, proving that courage is built in motion, not in waiting. Think of doubt as a constant companion. It may never fully disappear, but it doesn't have to lead the way. When you take action, even when doubt lingers, you're reclaiming control. You're saying, "I acknowledge the fear, but I choose growth." The magic lies in momentum. One step leads to another, and soon you're moving with a confidence you didn't know you had. Doubt thrives in stillness, but action is its undoing. So embrace the uncertainty, trust in your resilience, and move forward, because the only way to outrun doubt is to leave it behind. Integrate Stoic philosophy, a guide to inner strength. Imagine a life where setbacks don't shatter your resolve and external chaos doesn't disrupt your inner peace. This is the promise of Stoic philosophy, not a retreat from life's challenges, but an empowered approach to navigating them. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and release what we cannot. It's not about ignoring emotions or hardships, but understanding their role in shaping who we are. By integrating Stoic principles, you gain the tools to weather life's storms with clarity and purpose, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. At its heart, Stoicism asks a profound question: what truly lies within your control? The answer is simple yet transformative: your thoughts, actions, and reactions. Everything else, opinions of others, outcomes of your efforts, or random events, is beyond your grasp. When you embrace this, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Instead of wasting energy on what you cannot change, you channel it into cultivating resilience, wisdom, and virtue. This shift is not just practical, it's liberating. Suddenly, life's unpredictable twists feel less daunting, and your focus sharpens on living with integrity. The Stoics also champion the idea of amor fati, or the love of fate. It's not enough to merely accept what happens, they urge us to embrace it. Every event, whether joyous or painful, is seen as a thread in the tapestry of your life, necessary and meaningful. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything thrown into it." When you integrate this mindset, failures become lessons, and hardships become stepping stones. You're no longer at the mercy of life's whims. You become an active participant in shaping your destiny. Finally, Stoicism is a call to live intentionally and authentically. Epictetus reminds us, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" Integrating Stoicism isn't about becoming emotionless or robotic, it's about becoming deeply human. You learn to face each day with courage, gratitude, and an unwavering commitment to personal growth. By adopting Stoic philosophy, you don't just endure life, you master it. It's an art of living that empowers you to navigate uncertainty, embrace challenges, and pursue excellence with grace and purpose. Clarify practical steps, turning dreams into action. The journey from ambition to achievement doesn't begin with grand leaps. It starts with clarity. Without clear steps, even the most compelling dreams can remain just that, dreams. Clarifying practical steps is about transforming vague desires into actionable plans that align with your purpose. It's the bridge between inspiration and accomplishment, where the abstract becomes tangible. This process doesn't just make your goals achievable, it gives them direction, ensuring that each action you take moves you closer to the life you envision. First, break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks. When you look at a huge ambition, like writing a book or launching a business, it can feel overwhelming. But when you divide it into daily or weekly actions, research, writing chapters, meeting contacts, each step feels more attainable. This incremental approach shifts the focus from the daunting end result to the present moment. Success no longer feels distant or impossible. It's composed of a series of small, deliberate choices. Each one, no matter how minor it may seem, is a building block that supports your bigger vision. Next, create a routine that honors these steps. Consistency is the key that unlocks potential. It's easy to feel motivated at the beginning of a project, but true progress comes from steady, disciplined action. This is where accountability becomes crucial, whether through journaling, tracking progress, or seeking a mentor. When you make each task a non-negotiable part of your day, the momentum builds naturally. Your actions start to compound, and suddenly, what once seemed impossible becomes an ongoing journey of small wins that accumulate into real, lasting change. Finally, ensure that your practical steps are flexible enough to adapt to the unexpected. Life rarely follows a linear path, and your plans will inevitably face detours. But flexibility doesn't mean abandoning your goal. It means adjusting your approach while keeping the end vision in mind. When you embrace the fluidity of progress, you cultivate resilience and creativity. Practical steps, when executed with intention and adaptability, don't just lead to success. They transform how you navigate challenges and pursue your dreams with persistence and purpose. Address inner compass with Stoic anchors, aligning actions with purpose. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the idea that our true guide is not the external world, but the internal compass that directs us towards what we can control. This inner compass, shaped by our values, strengths, and desires, often gets clouded by the noise of external pressures and distractions. The Stoics believe that by anchoring ourselves in what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and responses, we can navigate life's uncertainties with clarity. To address and strengthen this compass, we must lean into Stoic anchors, concepts that pull us back to our center when the world feels overwhelming. One of the most powerful Stoic anchors is the practice of distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. This simple yet profound insight allows us to refocus our energy on the things that truly matter. When we direct our attention only to our own actions, our reactions, and the way we approach challenges, we reclaim power over our circumstances. By continuously reminding ourselves of this boundary, what's within our realm and what's not, we prevent ourselves from becoming lost in frustration, comparison, or external judgments. Our inner compass sharpens, guiding us with greater precision and purpose. Another Stoic anchor is the concept of amor fati, or love of fate. The Stoics taught that we should not only accept life as it unfolds, but embrace it fully. This mindset isn't about resignation, it's about trusting that everything, even hardship, has value. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn, grow, and align with our higher purpose. By cultivating a love for the path we walk, whether it's smooth or strewn with obstacles, we gain a sense of peace that allows our inner compass to remain steady. Life's setbacks become mere stepping stones on the journey, not distractions from it. Finally, the Stoic practice of self-reflection is an essential anchor to stay aligned with our inner compass. By consistently assessing our actions, motives, and decisions through journaling or meditation, we gain clarity on whether we are living according to our deepest values. This practice helps us course-correct when we drift, reminding us that growth is not about perfection, but about continual alignment with our authentic selves. The Stoic idea that the unexamined life is not worth living is a call to cultivate awareness, a call that leads us back to our compass, no matter how far off course we may seem. By integrating these Stoic principles into our daily life, we not only steer ourselves toward our true north but also cultivate the inner peace that allows us to move forward with unwavering confidence and purpose. Encourage action with a Stoic twist, transforming hesitation into progress. In a world where hesitation often paralyzes us, the Stoic mindset offers a profound remedy, action rooted in wisdom, not just willpower. The Stoics understood that we cannot control everything, but what we can control is our response, especially our ability to take action despite uncertainty. The beauty of this approach lies in the Stoic concept of eudaimonia, a flourishing life that comes from living in accordance with virtue, and that virtuous living is always tied to action. The key isn't waiting for the perfect moment, but taking deliberate steps toward what is right, knowing that each step, however small, leads to progress. By embracing this Stoic twist, we realize that action doesn't need to be flawless. It simply needs to be in alignment with our values and our goals. The Stoics believe that action should be fueled by rationality, not emotion. When doubt or fear arises, instead of waiting for these feelings to subside, we push forward with deliberate intention, knowing that our emotions are fleeting, but our actions can define us. Marcus Aurelius, for example, spoke of acting with purpose and reason, no matter the external circumstances. The Stoic twist on action is not to suppress fear, but to recognize it as a natural part of the human condition and choose to act in spite of it. This doesn't mean taking reckless action. Rather, it's about moving forward with wisdom, knowing that we don't need to have certainty to take the next step. By acknowledging that action is its own form of wisdom, we can trust the process of progress itself. The beauty of this Stoic approach to action is that it encourages us to focus on the process, not the outcome. While many are consumed by the pressure to achieve, the Stoics urge us to embrace the journey itself. By engaging with life's challenges fully, without attachment to success or failure, we cultivate resilience. Action becomes a way of honing our character, not merely a means to an end. The Stoic twist to action, then, is to see each task, no matter how difficult, as a practice in virtue, whether it's courage, patience, or persistence. Each time we act, we build not just progress toward a goal, but deeper qualities of character that align us with our true self. In essence, encouraging action with a Stoic twist is about viewing every moment as an opportunity to engage with life intentionally, without waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about making decisions based on what we can control: our behavior, our choices, our mindset, while embracing the reality that uncertainty is a natural part of the human experience. By acting in the present, guided by reason and virtue, we create a momentum that propels us toward a life of meaning, growth, and true fulfillment. In the end, it's not the fear of failure or the pursuit of success that drives us. It's the understanding that to live fully is to act, to engage, and to grow, no matter what.